The throw at the goal line. Caught by Christian Kirk. But there's no more time. And the Giants defense to the last yard or two holds on and secures the victory.
That's called defending every blade of grass. You do it at the very end.
What up, what up, what up, New York Giant Nation? It is your boy, MacDaGiantsFan, coming back at y'all with the Week 8 edition of the True Blue Preview. The New York Football Giants, the 6-1 New York Football Giants, traveling out to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Seattle Seahawks, sitting at a pretty surprising 4-3 themselves. First thing is first. Former New York Giant backup quarterback whose name will always kind of live in a little bit of infamy in New York Giant lore, man. Not necessarily his own, not necessarily anything of his doing. He was just out there, being a pro. But, when we had a past regime here, one of the past failing regimes, Ben McAdoo was the head coach. Decided, we wanted to go ahead and bench the legendary Eli Manning because he wanted to see Geno Smith, who at the time he was a vet already at the time. You already pretty much knew what Geno Smith was. So, it was just wanted to start off with that little thing, and it caused an uproar, a ripple effect. It cost Ben McAdoo his job. It cost, I forgot his name already now, the former GM before Dave Gettleman. Cost him his job as well. But it was an interesting move. It was a bizarre move at the time. We had a rookie quarterback on the roster as well. If you wanted to sit Eli down, take a look at anybody, you would have thought that was the guy that you would have wanted to take a look at, not Geno Smith. But, it'll always live in infamy, the Geno Smith move, when they played him for that one game and benched Eli and ruined Eli Manning's impressive streak of consecutive starts to get a look at Geno Smith. But that's neither here nor there. Fast forward the tape. Here we are. It's about 5 years later now, almost 4 years. 4 years, almost 5 years later, excuse me. And Geno Smith is the Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback now, a job he earned in their training camp this offseason. And he's doing a hell of a job, man. Can't knock the hustle, man. Geno Smith is having an absolute career year. He's putting up MVP-like numbers. And you just can't knock it, man. Geno Smith is doing a hell of a job. He's going to be something to handle on Sunday, man, out there in Seattle, man, with that 12th man behind him. He's throwing for 1,712 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. By far the best production of his career. And he, at the time was a full-time starter in his days with the New York Jets. So it's not like this is his first crack at being, his first real opportunity at being a starting quarterback in this league. It's just his first successful crack at it. He's got this Seattle team rocking and rolling, man. This team is similar to the New York Giants, a team that came into this season, not a lot of expectations, man, and they have ascended right now to levels of where people didn't particularly foresee. They right now are currently the leaders of the NFC West division, the division that houses the current Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. So put that into perspective about how well Geno Smith has got this team going this year. Pete Carroll, you got to take your hats off to that man, their head coach. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's the oldest head coach in the league. And he's still not losing a beat, man. He's a good, legitimately good football coach, clearly. You lose a quarterback like Russell Wilson during the offseason, you think your season's just down the toilet. And many of us, myself included, thought so too. Thought Seattle would definitely be fishing around the bottom of the league, be one of the worst teams in the league. But Nothing but, man. They are just complete opposite of that. They are out there balling, and this is going to be a tough, tough test for the New York Giants on Sunday on the road. One of the hardest stadiums to go on the road and play in out there in Seattle. So it's going to get interesting, man. But we coming in with the reigning offensive player of the week, NFC offensive player of the week, Daniel Jones at the helm, man. After a big, huge game a week ago down in Jacksonville, let's see if he still has some more magic left, man, because it's going to take a little bit, man. We're going to need it. But with that being said, we also have what's arguably the best running back in the league, at least this year, for sure, in Saquon Barkley. And we all catch you guys up, man. Saquon Barkley is second in the league in rushing, and he is leading the league in scrimmage yards. So he is just getting it done. A healthy Saquon Barkley is a very dangerous Saquon Barkley, man. Already with 726 yards on the ground, which is more than what he had all last season. And he's clearly as long as he stays healthy, on his way to well over 1,000 yards on the season, as he's already up to close to 800 yards at the midway point. As we're entering the midway point, I should say. However, Seattle's got a young stud running back themselves, man. Kenneth Walker, man, the third. This guy is making a name for himself. This young man is out there balling. He is going to be a load for the Giants to handle as well. Man, he's finally taken over the starting reps the last few weeks, and he's made the most of it, man. 67 carries on the season for 410 yards and 4 touchdowns. Kid is balling, man. And the New York Giants have not been exactly the best at stopping the run, especially over the course of these last few games, man. They have been getting absolutely gashed in the run game. Travis Etienne went over 100 yards against him. Kenyon Drake went over 100 yards for Baltimore. So, yeah, these guys, the New York Giants is going to have a tough test handling Kenneth Walker. Just like Seattle's defense is going to have a tough test handling Saquon Barkley, because the Seattle's rush defense is actually worse than the New York Giants, man. And they got to worry about not only Saquon Barkley, but they got to worry about the running ability of quarterback Daniel Jones. So we got some weapons. We got a little something for them to worry about too, man. But this is going to be a fun game, man. Two teams, two very big surprises, two of the biggest surprises in the NFL season so far, man, facing up head-to-head, man. And it's going to be a fun one out in Seattle, man. Defensively, though, I think we got to get that pressure on Geno Smith, man, and try to force him to make errors, man, which he has not been doing too much this season, man. But we got to try to figure out a way to make that happen, man, because that's what it's going to take. This Seattle team has been putting up points in bunches, man. I mean, in bunches, like way more points than the New York Giants offense has shown an ability to be able to score. As we know, the New York Giants have not even went over 30 yet this season. Seattle has done that, I'm sure, a few times already this season. And they had that ability, man. They got Tyler Lockett, who is just playing out of his mind the last few weeks. Unfortunately, they will be going into this looking like without DK Metcalf, who got hurt in the game against the Chargers last week. And that's a big loss for them, for that offense, man. It helps us be able to focus a lot more on Tyler Lockett, but at the same time, they have a legitimate tight end scanning the middle of the field, too, and Noah Fant. Not having the kind of season I would have thought that he would have had. I thought he would have been a more primary weapon for them. But they have a few tight ends that they get the ball to, so that's kind of what's causing that ripple effect in Noah Fant's statistics this season. But he is still a legitimate weapon you got to worry about, and he is still the best tight end on that roster. And the New York Giants have had some struggles with defending the tight end position. So it's just, that's something to look out for, because the linebacker play it's a little better than it started out this season, but it's still not necessarily where it needs to be. Definitely some upgrades need to be made there. But right now, like I said, New York Giants playing with house money, getting it done, man. Getting it done, finding ways to get it done each and every week. That secondary, Fabian Moreau, oh my God, a star is born. Fabian Moreau. Fabian Moreau has been out there looking like a lockdown cornerback. If you didn't see his name on the back of his jersey, you would think it was Ramsey. You really would. And I'm not even saying that to exaggerate, man. It's the truth. That guy has been out there making big play after big play after big play for the New York Giants secondary in this defense. Dory Jackson, all the pressure was on him. He's handled it, stepped up to the table well, man. Xavier McKinney, Julian Love, that safety play, wow. That's all I can say, man. Because last week, the pass rush wasn't exactly helping out, didn't get it going, too early not until late in the game, and that secondary had to really hold it down, and they did their part, man. Did enough to get the job done. Can't even speak more about that last play of the game. Fabian Moreau put his feet in the ground and just made sure that Christian Kirk did not cross that goal line, man, and the rest of the team rallied to help him out and finish the playoffs. So, yeah, this team, man, is just a special team, man, and another couple more problems on the injury front, though. They had some big injuries a week ago. Unfortunately, tight end Daniel Bellinger has to undergo eye surgery. Not sure about a timetable for his return, if he's going to return. Still, nothing has really been said. Heard some rumors that it won't be all that too serious, and he should be back on the field before this season is out. But we don't know yet. I haven't got any full details about that yet. Evan Neal and Brederson, Dan Brederson, they both had tweaked their knees a week ago in the game against Jacksonville. Those are tough losses on this offensive line, as it was starting to really build some really good continuity and was starting to play a lot better. So those are tough pills to swallow, man. Those are tough losses. But the guy stepped in last week and filled in and finished that game off admirably, and we still got the W. And now they had a week to prepare, knowing you're pretty much going in without these guys. So, I expect that offensive line to still be ready, led by amazing left tackle Andrew Thomas, who was playing at an absolute all-pro level. So, Coach Brian Dable, I'm sure, will have these guys ready to go, because he's had these guys ready to go each and every game this season, each and every one. He's had them ready to go, and I don't see anything different to have. I don't foresee anything different happening this week. Don't foresee anything different. I think we're going to go out to Seattle, still be focused, going in there as underdogs. Once again, going in as underdogs this week to the Seattle Seahawks. And I feel like, once again, use it. Use that bulletin board material. You know what I mean? Get that extra motivation you need. Because everyone, that's just showing you that people are still doubting the New York Giants. And let them happen, man. Let them keep doubting us all season long, man. Because right now, it's something special building in New York. And speaking of building in New York, man, big breaking news came in about Kadarius Toney, man. He is no longer a New York football Giant. The New York Giants found a trade partner, and they made a trade. They sent Kadarius Toney to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 3rd round and a 6th round pick in 2023 draft. I believe that was really good, all things considering. Kadarius Toney has shown the league nothing really for his short 2-year career so far. So I think to get that kind of draft capital in return for him, I think it was reasonable. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow because he was a 1st-round draft pick for the New York Giants just a year ago, the number 20th overall selection, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out. It wasn't working out. It didn't show any signs of being able to work out. And Joe Shane pulled that trigger, man. Hats off to Joe Shane, doing a tremendous job with this football team. The fact that we're sitting there 6-1 while we're in full rebuild mode, that's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So, with that being said, man, if the New York Giants defense, I want to see them really get this pass rush going this week. I really want to see them get it going early. I want to see us get out there offensively and get it going quick, get some points on the board fast, get Seattle, rattled, and then just absolutely control them with the run game, man, because they haven't been able to stop the run all season against anybody. So let's just get that going early and often, and we'll see what happens, man. But it's that time, I'm going to say the New York Giants go out there to the Pacific Northwest and once again figure out a way to get the job done. And I'm going to say, I will say we touched that 30 mark this week. 30. Just 30. 30 points. 30-24. The New York Football Giants get it done out in the Pacific Northwest against the Seattle Seahawks, man. I think it will happen. Just like they it'll play out like that, I think the New York Giants are due for somewhat of an offensive explosion of a game. I think Daniel Jones is going to ride that momentum from a week ago and go out and once again have another big game. And I feel very confident that Saquon Barkley will as well. So I like that 30-24 New York Football Giants. Get it done. I mean, the reality is teams can put up as many points as they want to against other people, but ain't nobody put up more than 24 points against the New York Giants all season. So, and I feel like that's about the mark where the Seattle Seahawks will get to once again this week, except that's not going to be quite enough because the New York Giants is putting up 30. I said it. I meant it. I believe it. That's what's going to happen. So make sure y'all tune in immediately after this game, man. Immediately following this game, the MacDaGiantsFan channel for the true blue aftermath and get that immediate post-game reaction. Usually have some friends along the way. Don't know who it's going to be this week. It could be, anybody. A lot of my, homies from the Big Blue crew. Coach Ed's been a big supporter. Shout out to Coach Ed Gladney, man. Make sure y'all sub up to Coach Ed Gladney's amazing world of sports, man. Does great things, very knowledgeable on all things sports, man. All things sports. So sub up to Coach Ed Gladney. And my guy, NYG Jeffy T, man. 3285, man. One of just an amazing content creator, man. So passionate. One of the most passionate guys I ever met when it comes to New York area sports, man. So definitely sub up to NYG Jeffy T, 3285. And then on Wednesday, make sure y'all tune in 5:30 p.m. to me and my guy, Adam Costas, for another edition of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. Make sure y'all see y'all there, man. And absolutely go out and sub up to my guy, Adam Costas, too, man. Because this guy is very knowledgeable on all things New York area sports, man. So just go and sub up to Adam Costas, too. He be out there grinding, too, man. And remember, definitely sub up to MacDaGiantsFan, man, because I'm out here working hard for y'all each and every week as well. Thanks for all the support, man. This whole thing, it's been fun doing this, man. I love doing this. I do it because I love it, and I do it because I like to share my thoughts with the masses. And this platform allows me to do that, so I really do appreciate it, man. And remember, man, it's your boy, MacDaGiantsFan, man. And I will be seeing y'all immediately following the game. Hey!
I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, MacDaGiantsFan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at MacDaGiantsFan. That's MacDa Giants Fan.